What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video in the Lifestyle Overhaul series. So I have compiled a handful of questions that I've received since starting the series, and figured I would answer those with you. So this is a little Q&A session. So without any further ado, let's jump in. All right, moving this along, we're going to jump into question number one, which has to do with my injury. So it has to do with my pec tear. It is how long did it take for your pec to heal after injuring it? And what did the recovery process look like? So if you've been watching my videos, you probably know the answer to this, but first off, the pec tear, I don't think is actually fully healed. There are still some exercises that I do. If I go a little bit too heavy, I can really feel a little bit of strain in there. So I'm still very cautious. In terms of recovery, it's really been um, just doing very lightweight, very safe weight that I know I can handle, and just doing a little bit higher repetitions. I was doing a lot more like stretching and resistance band type stuff at the beginning. And then as I got more and more comfortable and felt like it was improving, then we moved back into doing just some weight stuff. Right now, my bench press, I'm doing bench press, and the highest that I've pushed it to is 135. I haven't really gone past that, but my last bench day, which was actually in my last video, we managed to do 135 without any pain at all. So that was very exciting. But that is kind of how it is all going. So it is not fully recovered, but we're getting there. We're making progress, and we're getting our strength back. Question number two is what does my current workout routine look like, and can I give you just kind of like a little breakdown? So for that, I am doing a push pull leg workout. So um, usually if I have time and everything works out, we would do push pull leg back to back to back, and then have a rest day, and then push pull leg again, and just kind of repeat that. So for push day right now, it is a little bit different than it was when I started, because we're not moving as much weight and we're not really doing as much volume. So usually for push day, it's either incline or flat bench. Then I do some chest flies with some light resistance bands, and then we do some form of overhead pressing. And I don't go too heavy, so it's pretty lightweight, high repetitions. And by high repetitions, I mean it could be anywhere from like 15 to 30 repetitions. Um, and then I usually do about 3 sets of everything. Except for bench press, I've been kind of working my way up very slowly, so that could be anywhere from like 6, 7 sets. It's a lot, but I'm just trying to like get volume in, um, to kind of make up for the fact that like I'm not pushing as much weight as I used to be. So we're trying to compensate through repetitions right now and just kind of keep things safe. And then for pull day, usually it's a lat exercise. So usually it's either a lat pull down of some sort or pull-ups. Sometimes if I'm really feeling it, I'll do both. But for pull day, it's usually just 3 sets of each exercise. And then rep range for that is usually around 8 to 12 repetitions. But yeah, it starts with like a pull-up or some type of like lat dominant exercise. And then we move on to some rows. So sometimes they're high rows, sometimes they're low rows, sometimes they're just, I kind of play with my angles. And then we move on to some lateral raises and I like to do face pulls. So I've incorporated a lot of those. It's usually like some sort of delt exercise, and then I like to do a rear delt. So face pulls are great, or rear laterals are the other one that I really do for rear delts. And then we hit some biceps. So we'll usually do just some banded bicep exercises. So either from the resistance bands, because I don't have a bunch of dumbbells and I don't have a bunch of weights, I like to do resistance bands, and I'll just have max tension that I can actually curl it towards my face, and I find that that gives me a nice stretch. Or I will do kind of facing away so that the bands are pulling my arms back and elongating the bicep, and then I contract and squeeze from there. Uh, and then I've been hitting a lot of forearm exercises. So usually just some wrist curls and things like that. I do resistance bands, dumbbells. Sometimes I use my kettlebells. Sometimes I use a barbell, but some sort of forearm exercise. So it's usually a lat dominant exercise. Then we get like the rhomboids or like the mid back, and then we work on the delts, and then biceps and forearms. So usually about 5, 6 exercises for that one. Obviously, time permitting, we'll do the whole thing, or sometimes I'll superset it. But so there's a lot of flexibility in my routine if you haven't noticed. But yeah, it's a push pull leg. And then for leg day, usually I do some form of squat. That's like my main quad movement. And then we'll hit some squats, and then I like to hit either leg extensions or I'll hit some sort of lunge variation. And then we'll move on to stiff-legged deadlifts. And I like to do these with like a decent amount of weight. And then we'll usually do hamstring curls, and then we'll finish it off with some standing calf raises, which are always fun. But again, for that, rep range for squats is usually a little bit lower. So I'll usually aim for like 5 to 8 repetitions with a little bit heavier weight. And then we'll drop down and we'll do usually between 8 to 12 for everything else. Sometimes, if I'm really feeling it, we might increase the rep range a little bit to for especially for like leg extensions and hamstring curls. I can kind of push through the fatigue a little bit more and get some partials and some force reps in. So um, that might be a little bit higher on in terms of the rep range, but usually it's each exercise we're doing 3 sets, and then 8 to 12 is kind of like my favorite area. But then for the strength moves, so like the squats, it would be more so 5 to 8 reps, so a little bit lower repetitions for that. But that's how it works. And then again, I just take rest days as I feel like I need it. And then I guess on top of that, we also run 2 days a week. Usually it's Tuesday and Friday. But that also has been fluctuating. So today is a Saturday, and I'm actually going to have to do my run today because I didn't get it yesterday. But that is the workout routine. Question number 3 is about nutrition. So, what does my kind of daily nutrition look like? It's very basic, it's very simple right now. So, hydration, just stay hydrated, usually like 2.5, 3 liters of water a day, depending on obviously how hydrated I feel. If I'm going to the bathroom too much, I'll drop that down. If I'm going to the bathroom very infrequently, I might increase it just to get a little bit more water in. But yeah, hydration is key. And then in terms of the actual meals and everything, usually I will um, not eat until around 10, 11 o'clock. Sometimes I push it even later, but I really just am eating when I'm hungry. So morning I'll have coffee that kind of holds me over until about lunch, and then I'll have like my first meal. And honestly, it's just been random. It's just been, I make sure that whatever it is, I get about 30 to 40 grams of protein in there, and then I'll do that for lunch and I'll do that for dinner. um, I right now, like I get my blood work done fairly frequent, and I actually have some high markers in terms of kidney. So they've had me dial back on protein. So before my protein, I was aiming for about 150 grams to 170 grams. And right now, just because we had one high reading, we just want to kind of try to drop that down. So I stopped taking creatine. We're keeping very hydrated, and I had to drop my protein intake. just based on the recommendation by my doctor. So that is kind of what we're doing. So meals aren't too crazy. Usually my go-to meals right now are I have like a chickpea, or not chickpea, it's a lentil pasta noodles that I really like. So I'll do that with some ground beef and some pasta sauce. And then I have some high protein tortillas. So sometimes we'll do quesadillas, sometimes we'll do like egg wraps, things like that. But um, yeah, nutrition is like very basic right now. I haven't really done anything too crazy, and it's been really stress free and enjoyable. So, yeah, nutrition is just very basic right now. All right, and question number 4 is about mental health. So, how do I uh, manage my stress and stay positive during my fitness journey? So, honestly, my approach is very slow and kind of like a long term approach. So, it's like I'm not looking for any crazy quick results, which has changed since past attempts at dropping weight. Um, so that's kind of like been the big game changer in terms of relieving stress. Usually, I would jump, if I was looking to diet down, I would instantly start tracking my food, make sure I'm hitting my macros, uh, get all my workouts in, make sure I'm eating like usually around like 5 meals a day, uh, lots of fluids. And this time, honestly, I've just been trying to enjoy my life as much as possible and just make tiny little incremental changes along the way to see great results. So that's that's what we've been doing, and it's been making things very stress free. So I would say just focus on making little tiny changes, and as you stop noticing that you have to put in like dedicated effort, so once it becomes almost like subconscious and like natural, then I just add something else and I just kind of stack it from there. So we just slowly dial it in, and it's honestly made it so much easier just not trying to rush the process. Question number 5, does it say, what motivates you to stay consistent with your workouts and healthy eating habits? So honestly, in terms of motivation, it's honestly, it's just about being healthy. It's being able to keep up to my kids. It's being able to do things I enjoy without like feeling like my body's completely broken. That is like the main motivation. But I will say that I try not to depend on motivation, because motivation comes and goes. So what I would recommend is, yes, have your little motivational board or whatever you want, something that kind of gets you amped up when you look at it, or when you listen to a certain playlist, or whatever it may be. But discipline and just consistency is going to get you so much further than just trying to ride the waves of motivation. So stay consistent, um, and just, yeah, try to build that discipline up. And like anything else, discipline takes time. It takes a lot of effort, but over time, staying disciplined, it's gonna become very natural and second nature. So try not to rely solely on motivation, and really try to build up those calluses on the discipline. Okay, and question number 6, which is the last question of this video, is what are my long-term fitness goals? Um, so what what am I how am I achieving these, and what are they? So a big one is I want to downsize. So I've been hanging out at around 260, 250, maybe 240 every once in a while, but it's been years. And I'm finally just like, you know what? We just need to drop this weight. Even if we lose some muscle, it doesn't matter. So I'm trying to downsize. I think I want to get to around 205, um, maybe lower. Obviously, we'll have to go from there, but that is kind of like the weight loss goal right now. Um, but other than that, the goal is to try to maintain strength the whole time. So eventually I want to, really push the weights for squat, bench, and deadlift. But right now, with the pec tear, we're not focusing on bench. Squats are meh, but yeah, just trying to keep strength up. And then the biggest goal right now is I want to be able to run a 5K. Now, that isn't super long term because I think we're getting pretty close, to be honest. But eventually, I'd like to run like a half marathon or like a marathon, just do something crazy like that to really test it. But that is like a long term goal. So, what I'm doing for that is right now I'm running 2 times a day. And we're just trying to build up our pace, and then eventually we're gonna just get there. But yeah, it's really just focusing on running, staying consistent. So 2 days a week. Um, I don't think I'm really gonna increase that until we get really serious about like trying to do like a half marathon or something crazy like that. But so that's a long ways away. But we're just staying consistent, getting our runs in. So that is kind of the long-term goals. We're looking to downsize our weight. We're looking to get into running shape and stay strong while we do it. But that is it for this video. So hopefully you liked it. If you did, please give this video a like. And then if you can, if you have any more questions that you'd like answered, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I like doing little videos like this, knowing that people are actually interested in what I'm trying to accomplish is pretty cool. So yeah, comment down below if you have any questions for me, and I will eventually put out another video like this once I have a few questions in the tank. Other than that, as always, do not forget to subscribe and turn those notifications on, because majority of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, and we're trying to hit 1,000. That's the milestone right now, and we're sitting at, I think, 819 as of today. So we're getting there slowly but surely, and if you subscribe to the channel, we'll just get there that much quicker. So that is the plan. But other than that, I have nothing else to say. So I will see you in the next video.